Attachment healing is not a sudden personality makeover. What changes the outcome is that it happens when the nervous system repeatedly experiences safety, honesty, repair, and choice where it once expected abandonment or overwhelm. Think of someone learning that a disagreement can end with reconnection instead of silence. That small detail changes the decision because healing is built through repeated corrective experiences. The first step is noticing the pattern before obeying it. In real life, anxious pursuit, avoidant shutdown, people-pleasing, testing, or panic texting must become visible. Picture catching the urge to send 10 messages and pausing long enough to name fear. This matters because awareness creates a small gap where choice can enter. Body regulation matters because attachment fear is physical. Under the surface, the chest tightens, stomach drops, jaw locks, or thoughts race before mature communication is possible. This shows up when taking a walk before discussing a painful comment instead of arguing while flooded. So the useful takeaway is that calming the body protects the conversation. Secure self-talk replaces old predictions. The practical engine is simple. The mind may say they will leave, I am too much, or closeness will trap me. You can see it when responding internally with, I do not know yet, I can ask directly and handle the answer. The result is that new language interrupts old certainty. Healing requires new behavior during activation. Mechanically, reading about attachment is not enough if the same protest, withdrawal, or avoidance happens every time. For example, telling a partner, I feel scared and need reassurance, instead of accusing them of not caring. That is why the pattern changes when the response changes. Relationships can provide practice, but they cannot do all the work. The process works because a caring partner can offer consistency, but each person must build self-awareness and regulation. A simple example is a partner replying warmly while the anxious person also works on not spiraling between texts. The practical lesson is that healing is shared support plus personal responsibility. Repair is a central healing experience. The hidden lever is that old wounds often expect conflict to mean rejection, punishment, or disappearance. A realistic case is a couple arguing, taking a break, and returning to apologize and clarify. The viewer should remember that safe repair teaches that rupture does not have to mean ending. Boundaries help attachment healing. The moving part is this. Without boundaries, anxious people may overgive and avoidant people may disappear instead of negotiating space. One ordinary version is saying, I need 1 hour to cool down and I will call at 8, rather than vanishing. Once you see that, clear boundaries combine space with reliability. Choosing safer partners speeds growth. What changes the outcome is that healing is difficult with people who use mixed signals, contempt, manipulation, or chronic inconsistency. Think of someone mistaking chaos for chemistry because the emotional highs feel intense. That small detail changes the decision because the relationship environment can either calm or inflame attachment wounds. Therapy can help when patterns are deeply rooted. In real life, a trained professional can help connect present reactions with past learning without blaming the past for everything. Picture realizing that panic after delayed replies echoes earlier experiences of emotional unpredictability. This matters because understanding origin can reduce shame and improve choices. Journaling can reveal triggers. Under the surface, writing down what happened, what you felt, what story you told yourself, and what you did makes patterns visible. This shows up when noticing that fear spikes after vague plans but not after clear schedules. So the useful takeaway is that data about your emotions can guide practical requests. Attachment healing includes grief. The practical engine is simple. People may grieve what they did not receive earlier: steadiness, comfort, protection, or emotional permission. You can see it when feeling sadness after realizing why constant overachievement was used to earn love. The result is that grief is not regression, it can be part of integration. Progress is usually uneven. Mechanically, A person may respond securely one week and get triggered badly the next. For example, handling one conflict calmly, then spiraling after a stressful month and delayed message. That is why healing should be measured by recovery and honesty, not perfect performance. Secure attachment does not mean never needing reassurance. The process works because it means asking more directly, receiving more calmly, and not making fear the only driver. A simple example is saying, "I felt unsettled when plans change. Can we be clearer next time?" The practical lesson is that healthy dependence is different from emotional panic. Avoidant healing often involves tolerating closeness without escaping. The hidden lever is that the person practices staying present during emotional conversations and asking for space respectfully. A realistic case is noticing the urge to shut down and saying, "I need a pause, not an exit." The viewer should remember that space becomes communication instead of disappearance. Anxious healing often involves tolerating uncertainty without protest behavior. The moving part is this. The person practices self-soothing, direct requests, and letting evidence build over time. One ordinary version is waiting for a reasonable reply window instead of sending a dramatic breakup text. Once you see that, security grows when fear no longer controls action immediately. Attachment healing works through repetition. What changes the outcome is that the nervous system needs many experiences where honesty does not lead to rejection and closeness does not erase freedom. Think of months of consistent repair slowly feeling more believable than old fear. That small detail changes the decision because new safety becomes real when it is lived often enough. The goal is not to become perfectly secure overnight. In real life, the goal is to notice faster, communicate cleaner, recover sooner, and choose safer dynamics. Picture a conflict that once caused 3 days of panic now becoming a 20-minute honest conversation. This matters because healing is visible in shorter spirals and better repair. Attachment healing works through repeated experiences that teach the nervous system a different expectation. One apology does not erase years of fear. One good date does not create instant security. Healing happens when honesty, repair, consistency, and boundaries appear often enough that the body slowly learns connection can be safer than it used to feel. For an anxious pattern, healing may involve pausing before protest behavior. Instead of sending 10 messages after feeling ignored, the person might name the fear, check the facts, and ask clearly for reassurance. The goal is not to never need comfort. The goal is to seek comfort in a way that does not create more fear. For an avoidant pattern, healing may involve staying present for one more honest sentence instead of disappearing. The person might say, I need time, but I am not leaving the conversation. That small repair protects space without creating panic. Healing is not forced closeness. It is learning that connection and autonomy can exist together. Attachment healing is slow because it is not just an idea. It is a new set of practiced responses under emotional pressure. The signs are small but meaningful: clearer requests, faster repairs, less testing, less disappearing, and more ability to stay kind during fear. Security grows when safety becomes repeated, believable, and mutual.